Hello, Ringtime Pro Wrestling fans. This is Keshia, and I am your official correspondent for the Mae Young Classic for the Ringtime Pro Wrestling website. Now, this is the first time that I get to show you my face on camera. So, bear with me because there's going to be a lot of stuttering, a lot of name messed ups. I'm going to misplace some words. I'm going to have a couple of pauses. Trust and believe, I'm going to warn you now. It's going to be a little rough, but at the same time, bear with me. I thank you for tuning in, and I thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to give you a full recap of the first round of the Mae Young Classic. Now, if you have not watched the first 4 episodes of the NYC, go on the WWE Network and watch them. But please believe this is going to be nothing but spoilers. Nothing but spoilers, okay? So if you don't want to tune into these spoilers, you might want to turn this off like right now, because I'm just going to let you know right now, I ain't holding back. Okay, I'm giving full-fledged first round results. All right. Now, the first 4 episodes are up on the network, including and there's also episodes where they not only introduce the bracket to you, but they also introduce the 32 competitors to you. All right, all the women, every country they represent is already up on the network. I have written 2 articles already, and the first one is about the, excuse me, y'all, sound in my eye. The first one is about the competitors, and it's bringing you a little bit of background information about the Mae Young Classic and who Mae Young was. Not only that, but the second one is actually presenting the bracket, giving you featuring some matches that I think you should take a look at and be very interested in for the first round, and also my predicted winners for those. Now, I don't have those in front of me, so of course I don't remember who I picked to win and the feature matches that I put on there, but at the same time, I'm going to be presenting to you every single match from the first round and the actual winners of those matches. Plus, I'm going to be giving you the second round matches and who facing who, my thoughts on each match, my thoughts on each lady, and who the predicted winners of those are going to be. Because, of course, we have to have an Elite 8 before we can have a Final 4 and a 2 remaining. Now, the finale for the Mae Young Classic, the actual final match, will be on September 12th, and it will be actually happening in Las Vegas as opposed to Full Sail University. But the rest of the tournament is happening at Full Sail University. For those of you that are not familiar with Full Sail University, is where they film NXT. So, and it's also located on that, where the Performance Center is also located. Now, the interesting thing about a lot of these, I wouldn't say a lot, I see some of these ladies that are participating in the tournament is that they're already signed to the Performance Center, but you can expect for there to be more to be signed as time goes on. Now, this tournament not only gives these ladies a platform to showcase themselves, but it also gives them a chance to present themselves so that they can have a foot in the door at the Performance Center in NXT and possibly onto the main roster in the WWE. So trust and believe, just like with the Cruiserweight Classic and the New United Kingdom Tournament, we are going to see more of these ladies later. Some of them you already see on a regular basis. So bear with me as we go through this tournament and as we go through this thing. Now, the crazy part about it is I've seen a couple of these ladies actually qualify on NXT, so I was able to get to see their matches. And there's also one woman in particular that I was able to see debut last week on NXT before I got to see her on the Mae Young Classic. So let's begin. Now, you're going to see my eyes divert a little bit, but it's because I'm reading names, okay? And I'm going to let y'all know now, I'm finna fuck some of these names up. And I apologize. I am not trying to disrespect. I am just trying to pronounce things and reading off the piece of paper. Trust me, believe. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing the name right, and I'm probably not, okay? But I'm going to make sure I get these correct as possible. If I don't, I apologize. I am not trying to offend. I am not trying to do these thing on purpose. I am just trying to get my point across, and I'm just trying to get these ladies presented in a way that is respectful for them. Okay? So, here we go. Now, before I begin, I know this is going to be really random, but at the same time, I'm thinking, Keshia, you're the official correspondent for the Mae Young Classic. Duh. Okay? I am a woman, and I love wrestling. So, yes, I am the official correspondent. I was all over this. I actually volunteered for this. I told Keith that I wanted to handle this, and I am excited about it. And trust and believe, this is incredible, and I am happy that I'm actually able to witness this historic event. Okay, now I wish I could have been down there at Full Sail when it was going on, this tapings and everything, but at the same time, I'm good. Okay, I get to see it anyway, so trust and believe. There's nothing more exciting to me than watching women wrestle. Why? Because they're incredible. Okay, they're athletic. They have all the abilities that the men got, and some of them even more. So I am glad that I got to witness this actually happening. Now, when I heard the rumors at first of there being a women's tournament, I was like, oh, I'm all on it. I'm watching every single second of that, okay? And trust and believe, every single second, okay? So, let's begin. Now, I'm finna give the matches in the order in which they happen on the episodes, from 1 to 4, okay? I'm not gonna go out of order. I'm not gonna jump all over the place. So, like I said, if you have not watched the first 4 episodes of the MYC, you need to watch it, okay? And us here at RTPW, we definitely want to encourage you to, just sit back, relax, and watch this video. Because, hey, we're going to talk wrestling. Now, for those of you that listen to our podcast, and I'm guessing that's the majority of you that's going to be watching this video, you know that on the show we talk a lot about random stuff. I'm going to do the same thing here.